Chip and welcome to my channel. In this video I will show you how to fix a significant design flaw in the GE washing machine and dryer consoles. If you remove the console of an older GE washing machine or dryer, you will see how General Electric designed their consoles to do away with the former metal plate that was punched with holes and slots to fix their control knobs and timers to. And while I'm sure it saved GE a lot of money and materials, this design is also a significant headache to consumers and service personnel alike. GE also designed inferior knobs for their products this time, and what will happen is the knob will crack from extended use and it begins to slip on the control post. Now, the nature of the average consumer is to press hard on these knobs to exert some friction on that switch post, trying to get it to work. But this backward pressure on the knob will cause the plastic structure on the back of the console that holds the switch in position to break, and the switch will become loose and fall inside the machine's console. And unfortunately, when this happens, the expensive fix is to buy a new console and knob. And as you can see, these consoles are not cheap. But don't worry, there's a way to fix this without spending a lot of money. All you need is an electric drill, some wire, or zip ties to correct the damage, and you will get your machine working like it was brand new. However, you will have to buy a new knob because they aren't fixable and they are relatively inexpensive. So first we need to make sure that the machine is unplugged, and then you want to remove the screws from the back console panel. And unlike this customer of mine who broke the tabs off the bottom of the console shown here, you sling the console over about 45 degrees, slide it to the right about an inch or so until those tabs on the bottom disengage from the slots in the cabinet top. And now you can remove the knob from the broken control component, and you want to lay that console down on the top of your machine so where you can work on it. You'll have to remove the wires from the component, but first you want to make note of where each wire goes, so you don't want to mess these up when you reinstall them. I usually take a picture with my cell phone before I start pulling wires, and sometimes these can be difficult to get off, so I use a flathead screwdriver to gently pry the spade connectors from the prongs of the switch. Next, you want to take your new knob and center it on the console face where it will be when you reinstall it, and with a pencil trace a line around the outer edge of the knob. This will be the boundary you want to maintain for any holes you drill in the console, so that your work's going to be hidden when you finish by the knob itself. Now, from the back, position your switch where it should be if it could be installed correctly, and decide where you should drill your holes so that your wire or zip ties will cross the switch without making contact with the electrical terminals. It's better to plan for 4 holes so that you have at least 2 wires or zip ties crossing the back of the switch for maximum support. Always reference your pencil line to be sure your work will be hidden by the new knob on the other side. And when you do this, you want your holes just to the side or maybe slightly under the edge of the switch. And with the center punch, you want to make an indentation at the point that you want to drill your hole so that the bit doesn't wander. Now, if you're using wire to secure the switch, be sure it clears the terminals. You don't want to short out these connections, and don't be too aggressive when you're twisting that wire to tighten the switch up. You can easily break that plastic component. I prefer to use zip ties because they hold well and they're not conductive. Now, before replacing your console, check that the stops on the side of the switch make good contact with the tab that it originally fit on, if it hasn't broken off too. You might have to bend this a little and push your new knob onto the switch while you're holding the switch from the back. You don't want to stress your repair if you don't have to. Now you can reinstall the console and give it a test run. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if I've earned your subscription, I thank you. So stay tuned and stay busy. Chip out.